Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, from Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the NXT Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling happenings from the WWE Superstars of tomorrow, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 2195. 5 episodes away from episode 2200 of the show. I hope you guys had a wonderful evening. It is the 22nd of April, 2025, 10:03 p.m. This is the fallout from NXT Event Center for that date. The fallout from Stand and Deliver. As you know, we're doing the, or you want to go about it. Fallout from WrestleMania Week Part 2, and I know in the last episode I did my favorite, top 10, top of the Shenanigan charts with my personal top 10 favorite jackass stunts that have been done throughout the TV series and in the movies all together. Hope you guys check out that episode. It's wonderful. It's a good episode. And let's talk about this. They kicked it off with the women's tag team title. As you know, last night, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan became the 4-time women's tag team champions. They went up against Tatum Paxley and the lovely, gorgeous, curvaceous, and babylicious, and beautiful Gigi Dolan. And Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez retained the championships. Lexis King was talking to Penn and Teller about getting his Heritage Cup Championship back. He said, we'll do it on 2 conditions. One, you tell us that we're good at Magic and Magic is real, and apologize to us. And to defend the title, you'll defend the Heritage Cup title tonight. And so they said, okay, fine. And so Teller presents him with the NXT Heritage Cup Championship. He said, who are we going to defend the title against? He said, well, it's a bit of a surprise. So we'll find out who that surprise is when we get to it. And after seeing Tavion Heights and Charlie Dempsey at GCW's Bloodsport, which they aired a couple of those matches, and Nanny Neidhart did participate in that against Miyu Yamashita, and Ren Sinclair is talking to Miles Bourne, and Dark State interrupts and said, no Quarter Cash Group should split up. And then he goes, we could take you on at any time. And then Javon Evans goes, hey, what's up? I'm game for a fight. And so, oh yeah, who are you gonna go in fighting? And Niles Bourne goes, no, I got his back. I got you. So how about a tag team matchup? So they challenge that. Now, Ricky Saints addresses the Vegas crowd and says that he's proud to be NXT North American champ. And here comes Lexis King, and he says, well, I'm going to get more gold, so I'll challenge you for the North American title. I'll put up my Heritage Cup title. And he said, I know you've been talking to Ava. That's fine. That will be the case. But Lexis King needs to worry about his mystery opponent, his mystery challenger for the Heritage Cup title. And, well, Hank and Tank were really excited about winning the tag team titles, talking to Sol Ruka and Zarya. And so Ruka, Tank is like, can I put the thigh? No. Is it traditional now? So, and Thea Hale interrupts them by jumping into the arms of Hank Walker and say, I'm really excited. And she congratulates Sol Ruka on becoming NXT Women's Champion. Then Jada Parker comes in. He goes, after the night I had, the last thing I need is your energy. And then Kaylani Jordan has agreed, saying, hey, the locker room's changed since you left. And then Fatal Influence comes up, and JC Jane goes, this is the thing, my life couldn't get any worse. You come back in. And then Fallon Henley says, you should put her in your place. And then JC Jane says, why don't you do it? And, he says, well, since you don't want to do it, I will. So, I think, and JC Jane had a reason why that she won't do it. Because she's got to fight Rosemary one-on-one this Thursday night on Impact. That's going to be a heck of a matchup. And finally, and just looks at Thea Hale. Thea Hale's got the smile on her face, like, So, anyways, Then the Heritage Cup title was on the line as Lexis King defends it against. Well, hello. That's right. Noam Dar has returned to NXT after what? A year, nearly a year, a couple of years on the injured list, on the injured reserve. He came back, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a new NXT Heritage Cup champion once again. Noam Dar. So that means, will the British Rounds rules come back, or will Noam Dar treat it as a one fall to a finish? We'll find out. I'm sure Noam Dar, I'm sure Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, and Oro Mensah are going to be very pleased that their main man is back on NXT and is back as the new Heritage Cup champion. Noam Dar, pinkies up, baby. That's all I'm going to say. And then Sarah Schreiber interviewed Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne Perez says she's aiming to become the 3-time women's champion. After what the stunt you pulled last night on Raw, sister, and not only that, you decided to attack Io, and if you get to the main roster, I'm sure Io's going to call your butt out, so you better get ready. Because once you go on the main roster, the competition levels up from there, sister. And then Thea Hale went one-on-one with Fallon Henley, and JC Jane tried to get involved, but misfired and hit Fallon Henley, while Jasmine Nix tried to get involved, and she was taken out. But then Thea Hale slaps on that Kimura lock. It's over. Thea Hale beat Fallon Henley. Obafemi addresses the Vegas crowd and gave Javon Evans some flowers. Trick Williams did not want to accept that and confronts Femi. He says he wants another shot at it, but then, ladies and gentlemen, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. And believe me, Joe Hendry has something to say on that endeavor. As you know, he'll be defending. He will be defending the TNA title against Frankie Kazarian. I forget who. On Ethan Page. Frankie Kazarian and Ethan Page in a triple threat this coming Sunday at Rebellion. And he says he got some business to attend with Obafemi. Trick Williams, as they were about to confront Trick Williams, pushes them both away, and then they started battering him and throw him out of the ring. And then they confronted each other. You know what that means, folks? This could be an interesting situation for sure. We shall see. We shall see. So Stax was talking to Luca Cristofino out in the desert. You know why I brought you here? And he goes, oh, and then boom, he got cut out. What's going on? What has happened? Stax is making a big mistake, I'm telling you. And Sarah Schreiber interviewed Ruka and Zarya, and then as they were talking, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez interrupts them. Oh, Ruka's going to do best. You got 90. I was hoping Zarya would grab Liv Morgan by the neck, by her scrawny little neck, and toss her into the 10th row. Next time, we should get a one-on-one matchup. We'll see what happens. But Zarya versus Raquel Rodriguez, that's going to be a matchup I would love to see. Trick Williams then flips out, blacks out camera. Ava yells at him, tells him to leave. Then Javon Evans and Miles Bourne went up against Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin of Dark State. And the NQCC showed up at ringside. In fact, Charlie Dempsey and Tyvion Heights was waiting at the stage while Ren Sinclair was in the corner of Miles Bourne. But despite all that, Lennox and Griffin did win the matchup. Sean Spears talks to Ava. He says, I'm just looking at my friends. And Yoshiki Inamura talks to Ava. He said, you know what, it's great to be here, but I'm going back to Japan soon. And he says, an honor to have you here. But then, and he would know, and Josh Briggs goes, what's going on? And to find out what's going on. And then Ava says, I'll give him, about this next week, you guys get your first tag team title shot against Hank and Tank. And then Josh Briggs goes, how the heck did you pull that off? And Yoshiki Inamura looks at him, ancient Japanese secret. I'm like, oh, jeez. What are we? We're going for those commercials again when they say ancient Chinese secret? Come on, Yoshiki, man. Just tell him, I always have it up here. I always have a plan. Why don't you say that? Say, oh, never mind. It's crazy. Then Tony D'Angelo was in a hotel room with Adriana Rizzo, talking to her about Stacks. And he says, I got a couple guys, we're going to take you to the safe house till this blows over. And next week, we haven't heard from Luca, and so neither of them has heard from Luca. So I'm sure Tony D'Angelo will want some answers from Channing Stacks Lorenzo. What is going on? Sarah Schreiber interviewed Ricky Saints, but then Ethan Page interrupts Saints, and then King attacks Saints. You cost me my Heritage Cup. Now I'm going to cost you your North American title. But then they had the Progresso flow of the night, so to speak, and a guy walks in with a briefcase and opens up the briefcase. There was a Chase U shirt. And it was Andre Chase saying, "We are effing back," he says. So Brandon and new and improved Chase U. We know Uriah Connors and Cale Dixon will be part of it. Who else is going to join him? We know Thea Hale's not coming back to Chase U. So this is a brand new and improved Chase U. See if Andre Chase can do something with this new personnel of Chase U this time. Then the NXT Women's Championship was on the line. Stephanie Becerra against Roxanne Perez. And in a great matchup, though, Stephanie Becerra with a bunch of, despite a bunch of near 2-count falls, retains the title. But then Julia comes out to confront Becerra, but then Jordan Grace was far away from the stage, also looking at Becerra. Looks like two young ladies have not finished taking the NXT Women's Championship yet. We'll find out what happens, and I'm really excited. Well, that's all the time we have on the show. Tomorrow we got the Joker's Wild. Pull that one-arm bandit against the devil. Try to beat him, as I always do. And also AEW Dynamite as we're getting closer to Double or Nothing. More fun, and hopefully I will get you some more side segments, of course, besides the main segments you see on my, remember, my featured channels, the Basement Archives. You can check out many videos there if you'd like to. And I will see you guys later on go for another episode of the show. That'll be tomorrow. Got to work tomorrow and all that good stuff. So I will see you guys later. So until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Do It for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raven Beaufort 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.